Hello, this is Nikki Labonte, the Associate Operations Director, and I am here with Natalie Douglass.
Hi.
Hello, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. First things first, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your horn history, and how you got involved with camp?
Absolutely. So my name is Natalie Douglass, and I am currently Assistant Professor of Horn at Utah Valley University. Grew up in Chicago. I've been in Utah for 3 years. So how did I get to be involved with camp? Actually, I gave a presentation. I gave a master class at the Northeast Horn Workshop in 2013. And that was on solfege and aural skills and sort of the song and wind stuff that I'm sort of best known for. And Kendall was actually at that lecture, and he came up to me afterwards and said, "Hi, I'm Kendall Betts," which of course I already knew. And would you please come teach at my camp? So that was sort of my quick introduction to Kendall Betts Horn Camp, because I had never gone as a camper, even though I'd heard such wonderful things about it. So
That's amazing. That is really cool. How did you, you said that the song and wind and aural skills was, the thing that you're known for, your greatest hit. How did you get involved in it? What really interests you about it?
So I like to joke that I've made a career out of being a bad 4th grade French horn player, which is just that I had no musical training really before I started the horn, meaning I wasn't literate, I didn't read the staff or notes or rhythms or anything. And so if you think about handing a kid a French horn who has no aural skills, can't read music, and what a gigantic obstacle that is. I mean, it's just it's kind of more than a small miracle that I even still play the horn, because I didn't understand, pushing down first valve and getting F instead of D or instead of B flat. What do you mean? How do I know when I'm on the right note or the wrong note? I mean, that was me in 4th grade band through high school. Let's be real.
Right.
Especially top of the staff. I mean, trigger 2 will get you E and F sharp and G sharp. And I was always just guessing forever. And then it wasn't until I went to college and took aural skills class that it was oh, you mean you can look at a piece of music and hear the notes on the page before you try to play it. And to me, that was it was actually really, really irritating to me that at age 18 or however old I was, at a freshman, that this was the first time that I was made aware of this system of ear training. So I kind of had a spark lit at that point that I wanted to kind of turn it around and incorporate ear training earlier into the process of learning the horn. And so when I was getting my doctorate and had to devote my time to a dissertation, that's what I chose to pursue. So I ultimately got a Fulbright as well, did a Fulbright grant in Hungary, basically just getting my butt kicked in all of the best training methods for inner hearing and ear training. And so that's what I do now.
That is amazing. I did not know most of that. That is really, really cool.
Tragedy and triumph, Nikki. That's what it's all
about. So how do you distill all of those years of knowledge and getting your butt kicked by aural skills into a week-long aural skills curriculum for the poor unsuspecting campers?
Yeah. Only knew. It takes a lot. It actually takes a lot of preparation and conscious thought on my part for camp, planning the curriculum, because I do only get a week. Of course, I get some campers more than 1 week, but so the first objective, more than anything else, is this audiation skill, which is your ability to think and to hear and pitch, to look at a sheet of music, and as Kodai says, to read it like a book. When you read text, you hear the words in your head, but you don't, without saying them out loud. You can do the same thing with music. We just don't seem to train that very well in the U.S. So that's kind of our first and foremost goal, is to train audiation. Most of what I do with pitch training is through song, and by that I mean I'm teaching you tunes, fun, cute melodies. There's lots of play and lots of games involved, and then we do activities with solfege on those games. And then finally, the more refined part of the class is I take horn solos, horn literature, etudes, everything from Koprosh to Mozart to Beethoven, And I do musicianship exercises designed around horn repertoire so that when you go to play the symphony the next time, like, oh, I can hear the harmony, or I can tap the rhythm of the clarinet that's playing with me, that sort of thing. So it's first just basic musicianship and pitch training as I know it, Kodai oriented, Hungary oriented, and then after that it's specific exercises with horn rep.
And when you get into the specific exercises, what's the significance in being able to do that? Like, okay, cool, I can tap the rhythm of the clarinet, but how does that help me, do this repertoire?
Right. So I get this question quite a bit. I usually bring up a story, again, very green, right? I had no clue what I was doing. I went to the Sarasota Festival when I was in undergrad, still very green.
Okay.
And had a horn lesson. I won't say the teacher, brilliant teacher, wonderful teacher. But I played the opening to one of the Mozart rondos. I can't remember which concerto it was, but third movement. And I go guns a-blazing into this first phrase, right, and play it. I think it sounds great. And she said, at what rate does the harmonic rhythm change in this opening melody? And first of all, I didn't even know what harmonic rhythm meant. Of course, it means how often the harmony changes. But the whole idea was that the harmonic rhythm got faster at the end, so there's this exciting sort of tension release to the end of the phrase. And all melodies are, well, I shouldn't say all, right? Most melodies that concern us are based off of harmonies, right? They're outlining different harmonies, and we need to feel that sort of tension, resolution when we make phrasing decisions. You can tell the difference between somebody playing Tchaikovsky 5 who can hear that the downbeat, do, ti, la, do, that's not a consonant note. That is a dissonant note that resolves down to ti. That is a different player. That is a different level of understanding an excerpt.
Mm-hmm.
So harmony is important in that way. We look at like Beethoven 8, for example. The clarinet that plays along with horn 1 has triplets against our eighth notes. Kind of important to know that. We try to match the clarinet player, right? So all of these sort of considerations and things that really a heightened awareness of what's going on. You can almost think of class as sort of like applied score study, like you're doing things with the score as opposed to just sort of like passively, like kind of looking along as you're listening to a recording.
Yeah. I remember, it reminds me of a story. I was at work with Peter Currow one time, and I'm playing a third line D in the staff, in unison with the trumpets. It was in Beethoven 5 in the second movement. And we get to that note, and it is, we're out of tune. And I'm like, oh, and PK goes, stop. What harmonic are the trumpets on? So I thought, okay, well, they're in C trumpet, and that would be a G for them. So that would be like, they're on the 6th harmonic, which is the 5th. And he's like, right. And so what's that going to be? Sharp. So you need to adjust sharp to match them. And I was like, oh my gosh.
But that's what it is to be an orchestral player, to really know and be able to anticipate like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really cool. Well,
brilliant.
Wow. So aside from all of the oral skills, privilege to be subjected to all of that oral skills knowledge, when you teach lessons at KBHC. Goodness, please.
Well, it's the perfect combination. It's kind of like my life in Utah, actually. I have 12 horn students, and then I do 2 sections of oral skills. And so like my whole life is singing solfege and teaching horn. It's like the best thing ever.
That's amazing. When you go into those horn lessons, is it still like, do you feel the oral skills creeping in? Do you let it creep in, or do you kind of try to keep them separate?
I get students, I think especially actually the older, like if they're older in college, I've had several ask, they want like applied, like they want solfege training on the horn kind of lesson. And so we just do that for an hour. But more often than not, people come with their whatever repertoire they're working on, and we work on whatever that is. Like basic tone production and standard rep, whatever it is. I mean, I always ask the student, like, hey, this is your hour at camp. Like, we can do whatever you want with it. And I usually ask them to play something so that I can kind of just watch and hear them, and then sort of decide, like, okay, if we've got 60 minutes, like what's going to make the most impact in the time together.
That's awesome. That's really cool. What when you come to camp, what's the thing that you probably most look forward to? I'll categorize it. So the thing you most look forward to on the horn, and the thing you most look forward to off the horn.
Off the horn, I've just been thinking about Nikki Labonte every day since I waved goodbye to her last year.
Oh.
And can't see her. Also, the bakery. In the morning,
bakery.
Hot coffee, and then they put out these scones and like just a delicious array of like breads and warm baked goods. And it just destroys me for like real life when I get home and I like wake up and I'm in my bed or like in my kitchen and I'm like, where's my hot coffee and freshly like this morning baked goods? Here, like, so the food is really amazing. The people are incredible. It's just, I feel like every time I walk away from a meal, like I've just been like smiling or laughing for I mean, you're just surrounded by like all the faculty are great. The campers are like by design, the people who come they love the horn, they love music. Like it's always the best hang. It's just great. On the horn, my favorite thing, what am I looking forward to the most? Gosh, the faculty ensemble is so much fun to play in. It's like unbelievable, to get to sit next to all these amazing players and playing fun rep. I mean, we just don't do that really the rest of the year. Like occasionally, like when I do like festival stuff, like if I go do a guest thing, but yeah, I mean, to get to play that level of players, just unbelievable. So I'd say that's my favorite. Those are my favorites.
Sometimes I wonder if, typically in the faculty and staff ensemble, we'll play arrangements of like these tunes. Like I think last year we did the third movement. Was it the third movement of Beethoven 3? It's the one with the horn call in it, the scherzo. Didn't we do that?
I know you guys did Gazaladra. Didn't you do Gazaladra last year?
We did do La Gazaladra. And I just wonder if whoever arranged that tune ever intended it to sound that good.
Yeah.
When are you ever gonna, whoever's sitting there arranging that, are they visualizing Bernard Scully playing first and Frank Lloyd playing like fifth, along with Jesse McCormick on eighth horn? I don't think that anyone ever envisioned that.
It's one of those weird like dream montages, where like if I was like in Looney Tunes, like an anvil hits me and then I go like this and like there's birds, and then it like and like in this weird dream and you're just sitting with these people like playing these pieces like
Wow.
Thanks for being here.
Can't wait to wake up from this, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So advice for participants coming to camp. What is the best mindset that they can have going into it? What is the best way to get the most out of their camp experience?
I think having an open mindset for starters, because you're going to be sort of exposed to a lot of different perspectives, ideas, backgrounds. The faculty, I mean, one of the coolest things, honestly, about being there is just that I don't know, there assuredly is no place else on earth where you can go and just have all of these experts from I can't honestly think of a facet of the music industry that we don't cover. Can you?
No.
People, we've got orchestra people, we've got college teaching people, we've got jazzers, we basically cover it.
Yeah.
So I think coming with an open mindset, because you're maybe going to hear some things, you're going to be exposed to things that whatever your principal teacher's background is, going to be different from your principal teacher's background, wherever you are. Yeah, having an open mindset, be willing, like ready to learn and willing to hear new ideas.
Absolutely. That's a great way to end it. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for talking with me. And thank you all for watching if you all are. And yeah.
You, Nikki.